The Wishing Well. Chapter 1. The Wishing Well. Make a wish, said Dad. Shelley stood at the edge of the wishing well at the park playing with a penny in her hand. It was a beautiful spring day, and Shelley had brought her friend Karen along a family trip on the park. Wow, a wish! Shelley had almost forgotten she had to make a wish. She thought about all of the other wishes she had ever made. Once she had wished for a puppy, but she didn't get one. Another time she had wished for a new bike, but didn't get that either. Shelley said as she looked down at all the coins at the bottom of the clear water in the well. What should I wish for? As she was thinking, a pretty blue bird flew down and landed next to the wishing well. It looked up at Shelley and then quickly flew away. Hurry up, says Eric, Shelley's little brother. Hurry up, says Eric, Shelley's little brother. I want to go get a hot dog. I wish, Shelley said slowly, I wish I could fly. She thought to herself and smiled. Shelley threw her penny into the middle of the wishing well. It made a little splash and then sank down to the bottom. Good job, says Mom. Finally, says Eric. Everyone walked over to the hot dog stand and sat down on the bench eating the hot dogs. What did you wish for? Asked Karen. Don't tell anyone, says Dad, winking at Shelley. It needs to be a secret or it won't come true. After they all finished eating their hot dogs, they played frisbee for a while until Karen's mom came to take her home. Shelley's family drove home in their car. It had been a very nice day. At night, Shelley lay in bed thinking about how much she had enjoyed the day at the park with her family and Karen. She thought about the beautiful gardens with different colors flowers. She thought about the delicious hot dog and fun game of frisbee. Shelley thought about everything she had done today, but she completely forgot about her wish. Chapter 2. A surprise. Get up, Shelley, you're late for school, Mom yelled. Mom had woke Shelley up hours ago, but Shelley had fallen back to sleep. She was so tired from all the running and playing in the park yesterday. Shelley climbed out of bed and got ready for school. She ran downstairs, ate her breakfast as fast as she could, and then grabbed her school bag. Hurry, Mom says. You're going to miss the school bus. Bye, Mom, yelled Shelley as she ran out. Shelley started running. She knew it took 5 minutes to walk to the bus stop, but if she ran, she could get there in 2 minutes. All of a sudden, she heard the rolling engines of the school bus. Oh no, said Shelley. She could see the school bus pulling up the bus stop. It stopped for a while, but the drivers didn't see Shelley running. The bus started to leave without her. Wait for me, yelled Shelley. She ran as fast as she could. Shelley put her arms out and started waving and flapping them so the bus driver would see her. Then something strange happened. Shelley could no longer feel the ground under her feet. She was still moving her feet back and forth, but they weren't touching the ground. Shelley looked down and was surprised to see that she was about a meter off the ground. Ah! Yelled Shelley. What's happening? Shelley started to panic and flapped her arms around even more, but that only made her go higher. Now she was 2 meters off the ground, not three, not four. Soon Shelley was flying higher than a tree. She looked down to see the school bus, which now looked like a little orange toy. Whoa! Said Shelley as she looked out over the town. She could see little houses and little farms. She saw little cars driving on little boards. Shelley could see mountains and forests, and she could even see all the way to the sea. Shelley noticed that when she stopped flapping her arms around, she would start to glide down toward the ground slowly and gently. And she also noticed that if she learned to lean to the right, she could turn to the right, and if she leaned to the back and left, she could turn to the left. Cool, Shelley said. She was no longer afraid. Chapter 3 The Secret. Shelley got to home just before the school bus. When the school bus arrived and all the children jumped out, she waved to Karen. Karen walked over to Shelley with a confused look on her face. How did you get here so fast? Asked Karen. Did your mom drive you? No, it's a secret, said Shelley. I'll show you after school. After school, Shelley and Karen took the bus home together. Shelley got off and Karen stopped. And when the bus left, she explained to Karen what had happened that morning. She told her about how she ran to the bus and how she was lifted off the ground. She told her about what she had seen when she was high in the sky and how she had flown all the way to the school. Okay, now I must see this, insisted Karen. Just watch, said Shelley. Shelley started running down the street, flapping her arms. Just like before, she slowly lifted off the ground and floated away around. Wow, said Karen in amazement. How do you do that? Shelley learned to the right and flew around Karen in a circle. Then she leaned, leaned. She leaned to the left and did another circle. She was starting to become pretty good at flying. I don't know, answered Shelley. It just happened. Can I fly with you? Asked Karen. Let's try, said Shelley. She stopped flapping her arms and slowly floated down to the ground just as she had before. How should we do this? Asked Karen. Climb on my back, answered Shelley. Karen climbed on Shelley's back and then Shelley started running as fast as she could. She put one of her arms out and started flapping. Nothing happened. Shelley turned around and ran back down the street the other way, but Again, nothing happened. Karen was just too heavy. It's not working, Shelley, Karen says disappointed. Oh well, said Shelley as she pushed Karen back down. At least we tried. I'm going to go fly away now. I'll see you I'll see you tomorrow at school, okay? Okay, answered Karen weakly. Karen watched Shelley Karen watched as Shelley ran down the street flapping her arms. Shelley slowly lifted off the ground and climbed higher and higher into the sky, leaving her all alone on the ground. I wish I could fly too, Karen said in a sad voice as she walked home slowly. Chapter 4 Adventures. Where should I fly now? Fly to now? Shelley asked herself as she looked out over her neighborhood from above. She saw some big sea birds not too far away. She was flapped harder to catch up with them. Shelley came up beside the flock of seabirds and waved at them. The birds looked surprised to see a little girl flying around in the sky, but they weren't scared. Shelley flew with the birds all the way out to the sea. She watched her flying friends fly around in a circle. Every 2 or 3 minutes, one of them would fly down and scoop up a fish. Shelley could see the fish swimming below, but she didn't catch any herself because she didn't like the fish. After watching the seabirds for a while, Shelley decided to fly toward the mountain. She flapped her arms to go higher and higher. She noticed that the wind was behind her now, so she could go much faster. As she approached the top of the big mountain, she stopped flapping and slowly floated down through the sky and the air. She put her foot down and landed perfectly on the top. Charlotte sat down on top of the mountain and looked out over the city and the sea. She had a clear view as far as the eyes could see. The scenery was beautiful. She tried to find her house, but it was difficult to stop and spot it from so far away. After a while, Shelley stood up, ran toward, and jumped off the side of the mountain. She let herself fall for a moment and then started flapping her arms hard. She sailed up quickly into the sky. How I I wonder how high I can go, Shelley thought to herself. She flapped harder and harder and went higher and higher. Shelley kept climbing upward until her arms got tired. She reached high and above the clouds, and all she could see was blue and white. Then she heard a loud noise coming toward her. What's the noise? Thought Shelley. Just then a big airplane passed Shelley. The airplane was going very fast. Shelley quickly waved, but nobody saw her. The airplane disappeared into the cloud, and the noise slowly went away. Shelley was yet cold and her arms were getting sore, so she decided to go home. Flying sure was fun, but she was starting to get a little lonely. She pointed her head down and started the long trip back to the ground. When Shelley got home, she was exhausted. She ate dinner quickly and went right to bed. I wish Karen could come with me when I go flying tomorrow, she thought. Chapter 5 Trouble at School. Shelley went flying the next day, and the day after, and the day after that. In fact, she went off flying every day after school for 2 weeks. She flew to places farther and farther away. She had flown along the sea to the big old lighthouse. She had flown across the forest and had stopped on top of a tree to have lunch. She had even flown to other city. After each flight, Shelley rushed to Karen and told her everything. She told Karen stories about all the amazing places she had been to. She told her about the seabirds, the mountains, the airplanes, the forest, and the beautiful scenery. Karen listened to all the stories. She always sat by Shelley and talked with her about the amazing adventures. Sometimes some of their other friends would sit there and listen too. One day at lunchtime, Shelley sat down with her friends and started to tell them about some deer she had seen from the sky. Can we talk about something else today? Karen asked. I don't want to hear any more flying stories. Why not? Asked Shelley. She was surprised to hear Karen say that. We can't fly, Shelley, says another girl. We don't want to hear any more about how special you were. What do you mean? Asked Shelley. She was confused and felt like she was going to cry. Why don't you just go fly by yourself? Said Karen. Shelley got up and walked away. She was really upset. She wondered why her friends were being so mean to her. Maybe they were jealous, she thought. After school, Shelley flew straight home. She didn't feel like going on another flying adventure. Shelley suddenly felt sick of being different. Chapter 6 Fixing Things. The next day, Shelley ate her breakfast very slowly. She had a sad look on her face. Mom sat down beside her and looked at her. Are you okay, Shelley? Asked Mom. Shelley mumbled. She didn't want to talk to anyone about her problem. Shelley just wanted to be an ordinary girl again. Maybe we could all go to the park again and have fun, Mom suggested. You really enjoyed the day we went there, didn't you? It was such a wonderful day. The park, thought Shelley. That's it, the wishing well. How could I have forgotten? I can make a wish to be normal again. Thanks, Mom, said Shelley as she jumped out of her chair. She ran upstairs to her room and looked for a penny. Mom stood in the kitchen looking confused. Shelley ran outside and down the street flapping her arms. She sailed up into the sky over houses and trees looking for the park below. When she saw it, she flapped down and landed right beside the wishing well. Shelley reached into her pocket excitedly and pulled out the penny. Just then, the little blue bird flew down and landed right next to Shelley. It turned its head to the side and looked up her. I'm going to miss flying, thought Shelley, but I miss my friends more. I wish I can be an ordinary girl again. I don't want to fly anymore, Shelley said to herself as she threw the penny into the wishing well. It made a little splash and then sank to the bottom. She looked down to where the little blue bird was sitting, but it was gone. Shelley jumped up and ran out across the park. She flapped her arms as hard as she could. Nothing happened. She fell down on the grass, laughing and smiling. The next morning, Shelley got up and took the school bus with all the other kids. Shelley felt happy to be ordinary girl again. At the next bus stop, Karen got on and sat next to Shelley. Karen asked Shelley why she was taking the bus and not flying. I miss sitting next to you on the school bus, replied Shelley. Karen smiled back. As lunchtime, Karen walked up to Shelley. I'm sorry I was so mean to you, said Karen. That wasn't very nice of me. And that's okay, said Shelley. I shouldn't have talked about myself so much. Shelley was happy to be friends with Karen again. She thought about how being special was good, but also very lonely. Just then, another girl ran up to Shelley. Can you fly the tree and get the kite for me? It got stuck, said girl. How about we all climb up and the tree together to get the kite? Suggested Shelley. Okay, said the girl. The three girls ran up together and climbed up the tree, laughing and playing. It's nice to be just like anyone else, thought Shelley.